the foster care system is a side effect of a spiritual problem. And by the way, I should lead with the foster care system isn't even the largest aggregator of where these abused kids are. Remember that lots and lots of kids that are being abused, the vast majority of them are still in homes where the abuse is either not discovered, or the states don't have enough evidence to intervene, or they're not motivated, or they're already overburdened and don't have placements available and literally can't remove the kids from what has been reported abuse. Does that make sense? So when I say to you, Kyle, today in the United States, we have 420,000 children living in foster care right now, remember that that's a very small percentage of kids that are still being abused in homes where they've never been pulled out of. Is that not just... Now, follow me for just a minute. Of the 420,000 children that are actively living in foster care, you have 90% of them statistically guaranteed to experience 2 to 5 forms of abuse. This can be physical abuse, holding their hands on stovetops as a form of discipline, locking them in dog cages, beating them with bicycle chains. This could be forced touch, forced kiss, forced sexual acts that we don't need to unpack with specificity. 2 to 5 forms of abuse. 50% of the children placed in foster care will never be reunited with loved ones ever again. They will never see siblings. So imagine little Sally is in a home where she's living out a literal nightmare and has to hide under the bed from the real-life monsters that live in the room next door, hoping for all that she's worth that the stepdad or the brother or the mother doesn't come home or passes out from overdose. And maybe, just maybe that one night, they're salvaged from some kind of physical or mental or sexual abuse. And the only constant she's ever known is that under the bed with her is her little brother, Billy. And I'm just pulling these names out. Suddenly, Child Services is aware of the abuse. They remove the children from the home. They're thrusted into foster care, but because placements are difficult, Sally never sees little Billy ever again. This is what I mean when I say it's a level of mental trauma that a lot of adult men would bust under leaving war times. They come home and they need therapy.
Yeah.
Many of them take their own lives and have not seen the kind of abuse that some of these tiny brains that have not even had a chance to even process what they've been through are trying to process what they've been through. 80% of these young men, from the ones that survive, the ones that don't come up missing, will become incarcerated. Almost all of the men and women will become completely financially destitute. The women turning to things like prostitution, forced labor as a way to eat. Many of them will join gangs for protection in exchange for a place to stay and something to eat. The young men will be turned into enforcers and drug runners. 70% of the young women will become pregnant almost right away with children that are destined for where? Statistically guaranteed to be pushed right back into foster care. And so you can see this cycle goes on and on and on and on. And so am I blaming the foster care system? No, I'm telling you that they're overburdened, they're underfunded, and a lot of really bad people have figured out there are lots and lots of blind spots. And it is a smorgasbord place for these people, these malevolent, evil people, to go and exploit these blind spots. It's a conveyor belt of victim after victim after victim after victim. And so that's why I say, man, we are not going to fix this via voting levers. We're not going to fix this via law enforcement putting pressure on our police. There is one solution to this very spiritual problem, and that is a massive awakening inside the church, Kyle.